Welcome to Solutions Studio. This is a free series on C programming language. If you like these videos, please subscribe to follow along with this series. Also, please like and leave a comment and share the video to help spread this series. Hello and welcome to this episode, and in this episode we discuss about converting between variable types explicitly and implicitly. If you have been following from the previous episodes, you know that in the previous episode we calculated some average values. And you know that average values, they often contain fractions. Now it's important to know that the type double represents these floating point numbers or fractions. Since total and counter are integer variables, total and counter, the calculation total divided by counter in the line 7 will yield an integer even though we have defined average as a double. This calculation would yield an integer because the type of total and counter is integer. And in integer divisions, fractional parts are eliminated. So C language can create a temporary floating point numbers to perform integer-based floating point calculations using an operator that's called cast operator, and this operator is a unary operator. It means that it only takes one operand. So line 16, as you can see in here, that we have used a casting operator, creates a floating point copy of the variable total using the cast operator double. And the variable total will still remain an integer, but only a copy of it will be created, and this is called an XSplit conversion with a cast operator. So a floating point value of the variable total, which is a temporary double version of total, is then divided by the integer value in counter. And now we have these two variables as double, which is average is double, and we have explicitly converted total to double, but we have counter still as integer. And for calculations to happen, C only requires identical operand data types in arithmetic expressions, even though we do not have identical operand data types in this equation. This one is double and this one is integer. So in mixed type situations, the compiler implicitly converts selected operands to the same type. So in our expression in here, with the variable types of integer and double, C implicitly converts integer into double, and that is called an implicit conversion. And for this calculation to happen, you know that we explicitly converted total into a double type variable. The compiler implicitly made a double copy of counter, and finally the floating point division will happen and the floating point value will be assigned to average. And that's how calculations would happen in statements like this. That's it for this episode. See you in the next episode, where we will be discussing about cast operator in more detail.